Hello and welcome to Storytime Sundays, the segment where we create a story and you have to guess the hidden meaning. So, for those of you who don't know how this works, I use these lovely things called story cubes, and on these cubes they've got lots of different images. I've picked 3 for today at random. These 3 cubes, and I'm going to roll them and then start to make a story. And it's your guys' job to guess what's the meaning of the story. Are there any potential lessons? So for those of you who tuned into last week's, the message was whatever choices we make, we lose other choices. So ultimately, but in the element of choosing, we actually limit our choices at the same time. So can you guess the meaning this week? So let's see what we've got. We've got a lovely flower. You can see. I need to work out on my exposure issues. Okay, cool. Flower. We have a key, a flower, and a turtle, a tortuga. Cool. So let the story and the guessing begin. So my dad, before I go to my dad, we've never had any family pets at home. Like when I was younger, we never had cats, we never had dogs, we never had anything like that. I don't know why. It could have been a cost thing. It could have been we just don't do pets in the house thing. But I mean, I've always had quite an affinity to animals. Now, one of my best friends, Chris, he had cats, so we used to play with the cats and stuff. But my dad used to talk about how he used to have pet terrapins. I'm not sure if you know what a terrapin is. Essentially, it's like a little tortoise or a little turtle. And yeah, they're like super small. They're really, really cute. And one day, I mean, I used to love going to our local like aquatic shop. They had like fish, they had like other little things, and they had like a little tank of terrapins. And I'd go there on a, let's say, weekly basis, have a little look, how they're going, how are the fish. And this little terrapin would go back and forward, back and forward. Terrence, I called him. And yeah, I used to watch Terrence every week, going back and forward. Sometimes he would be sitting on his little rock. Sometimes he would be basking in the sunlight of the halogen lamp while diving in and out of the water. And then one day, I went in, and Terrence wasn't there. Now, he may have been bought. I don't know. But I had noticed that over the last couple of weeks, Terrence had been getting slower, had been moving slower. Now, while I was pondering this on my way home, I saw a really old, derelict building. It was sort of like one of those sort of old-fashioned, like if you think of like an old-fashioned English schoolhouse that you see in the movies, where it's like sort of like ready grey brick, and there was like ivy crawling up the sides, and I'm like, well, okay. I was a little bit of a curious person, so I was like, okay, well, let's have a little look, see what's going on. So I had a little wander in. I walked around the side of the field to actually make my way into this beautiful looking building. And I was like, let's go inside, see what's there. And I tried the main door. Obviously, it was locked. But I'm like, well, let's have a little look around. So I wandered a little bit around, seeing that the flowers and stuff. It was springtime, so new things were sprouting. There were new buds in the garden. It was clearly like this garden had been kept relatively well. And as I wandered around, I saw a bag on the floor. So I decided, okay, well, let's have a little look in that bag. Let's open it up. And as I opened it up, I actually saw that there were some keys inside. I'm like, are these the keys to the door? I looked around. Nobody to the left, nobody to the right. So I was like, let's give it a whirl. So I went round and I tried the first key, didn't work. Tried the second key, didn't work. The third key in the lock, being an old door. It opened. And when I went inside, what was there actually shocked me. Sometimes it's quite eerie how buildings give us a certain view, how we have a certain outside, a certain facade to them. But then when we go in, it's completely different. This place, beautiful garden, lots of flowers, beautifully prepared outside. Inside, there was nothing. And when I mean nothing, I mean there was just like, I think, a few H-shaped girders that was essentially keeping the structure of this place together. But inside it was completely bare, save for one fish tank in the middle of that room. And I saw Terrence. Crazy. That's Storytime Sunday. Catch you at the next one.